Jeevan, thank you so much for joining me on the London Theatre Review.
Oh, thank you so much for having me.
So, Starlight Express, it's a pretty extraordinary thing, isn't it? And I kind of what's even more extraordinary than being surrounded by 30 roller skating people in giant puffy lurid costumes is actually how you got cast for it. So tell me about that story. How did it all happen? How did you become Rusty?
So it was such an unorthodox way. I was singing on TikTok and online and stuff, and a casting director, James Pearson, like happened to see it on his For You page on TikTok, and he got in contact and was like, "Do you want to audition for this?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure." And then it all just went from there. It was really crazy because I that was like my first experience in the industry, and I was like, so is it always like this? And everyone's like, no, 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 no. So I've been very, very lucky to have had it this way.
It is so not always like that. I mean, that's kind of like the dream. There must be so many people on TikTok, so many kind of people who want to be performers who are dreaming of that moment, that casting
Yeah,
director,
yeah.
let alone actually then getting through the audition round. So how was that audition process? How long was it?
I mean, it was quite long. I mean, everyone, like from speaking to everyone in the cast, everyone had different journeys and different lengths of auditioning. Mine was still quite long as well, and it was quite a thorough process because I think in a show like this, it has to be. The one thing which surprised me actually was the skating. Um, they took pride in knowing that they would be able to teach us to skate because a lot of us didn't know how to skate. So when we did this one round where we all went to a skating rink, they were like, don't worry, if you fall over, if you're not very good, that's not going to affect anything. So, it was a very crazy process, but it wasn't like a grueling one. It was actually quite
Okay.
fun.
Had you been on roller skates before?
No, never. I never even thought of being on roller skates. I always used to say, like, you've got to be a certain type of person to be on roller skates. And, you see them whiz past you on the street and stuff. And it's like, that could never be me. Little did I know I'd be doing 8, 9 shows a week on them.
Yeah, I mean, even professional roller skaters like won't be skating that much. It's just an insane amount. I remember that the original production of which I didn't see, but the original production of Starlight was quite notorious for people falling over,
Yeah.
obviously. But you look pretty well padded in this one.
Oh, I mean, if there's one thing we are, it is padded because let's be honest, it's gonna happen. We're on 8 wheels, and the beauty of it is that when we do fall down, we just get back up. For the most part, like when it's just a simple fall and stuff, we actually can't feel it a lot of the time because we've got all of our personal protective equipment like built into our costumes. So we're really safe and we've got all the padding we need actually.
How often does that happen? How often are you taking a tumble?
Surprisingly, I don't think you're going to believe this. In the whole time I've ever done Starlight, I've fallen twice.
That is insane.
Yeah, yeah. But there's still been like little trips or like, we call it floor tax when you actually like hit the deck. But I've only paid my floor tax twice. It varies. It really does vary.
You're also all quite like during the race sections where the trains are racing each other. And I always love the idea of talking about Starlight. Yes, we are talking about anthropomorphic trains in a
Yeah.
musical, of course, yeah. But the idea is that you're all quite tightly bunched together. You're racing each other. So presumably, if one person pays the floor tax, a lot of you are going down.
Well, this is the thing. It does have a sort of domino effect because it's like you've got to always be on guard and focused. It's not
Yeah.
like one of those shows where, if you're doing nothing at the back for a second, you can just go on the back burner. It's not like that because if you do even the slightest thing out of place, that could affect the person that's whizzing by you or standing next to you. Or like if you're falling and someone's about to come in the next scene, it's like it affects everything. So it's like
Yeah.
if one person does go, especially when we're racing and stuff like that, it will take an effect on the people beside them.
And
So
it's so precisely timed as a show as well, because there are so many cues at any one moment. There's lighting, there's sound, there's, not to mention the roller skating. So presumably that can really affect the flow of the show as well.
it really does. It really does. And for it being such a technical show, it's such a risk. It's such a big risk to be having so many factors that could go wrong. But it pays off and it makes it all the more rewarding when it doesn't. So
So when you got cast, how old are you? Is it right that you dropped out of school to
I
take
did.
up the role?
Yeah, I was 17 when I learned to skate.
My
Um,
God.
I lie, and I think I did a few performances at 17. Then I turned 18.
What was that decision like, making that decision that, yeah, I'm going to commit to this, I'm going to leave school?
It wasn't even a decision, to be honest with you. It was like the second I got it, I was like, okay, so I'm gonna move to London. Da, 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 da. Like I didn't even now that you've said that, I didn't even think about, oh God, but what about school and blah blah blah. Because for me, I was never like the easiest at school anyway, and especially in the industry we're in, I've always been saying it is such a talent based industry, and you know, I'd be staying in school to train to do what I've had the opportunity to do, you know? So
Yeah.
if anything, I was like, I'm going to see this next year as the rest of my school life because that's what this is. It's going to teach me everything I need to know. And honestly, it really has. So, and even when I went into school and told my teachers and stuff, they were so happy for me because they knew that that's what I wanted to do. And they were like, you've got to go and do it, you know?
Was there a kind of alternative path mapped out? Were you going to go thinking of going to drama school? Were you thinking of doing that?
Yeah, yeah, it was the just the orthodox route really, I think was going into my head of, finishing like sixth form, going into a drama school and seeing what I can get from there. Um and in turn I managed to skip, I think it was like 6 years of education, which, is extremely lucky. And but it's not like I'm not learning every day on this one too.
And dealing with the physical demands of it. 'Cause, I
Oh,
mean, like,
yeah.
are you must have muscles where you didn't know muscles existed before.
Yes, I also have pain where I didn't know pain. But we've got it's this sort of thing that like it comes with the show, and I talk to people who have done Starlight in the past, or Starlight when they were younger and stuff like that, and they're like, yeah, that is the biggest factor of it, but it's kind of weird. We're kind of in a place where we're just used to it. We're used to like our muscles being like steel. Um, so I guess when you're used to it so much, it's like, oh well, this is just the norm now.
Yeah, but how are you going to feel, when you move on to the next show and you're just standing still?
I'm not going to feel right at all. Everyone said that everything you do after Starlight feels easy. I'm just going to be like, okay, and then where's the massive ramp that I've got to go down or something like that? Everything's going to feel so limited.
Do you have a sense of what you might want to do after Starlight?
Um, I definitely want to do something fun, just for like a short time, like a little fun job. But I really, really, really want to do something a bit more um, acting heavy. So I really want to be in like a play. I'd love to be in a play, to be honest.
Mm.
Or I mean, obviously musicals are my dream. And one day, hopefully, who knows, maybe I can be on different genres of industries and maybe be on screen one day, and just anything that involves me acting I would love to do because that's like it's my first love and I really want to do it. The singing is always going to be there for me.
Yeah.
Like everyone knows, whenever you're around me for 5 minutes, I'm going to be singing to you anyway. So it's like the singing's always going to be there, and I'd love to incorporate it. But Starlight's been such a fun singing show that I'd love to do something very acting wise.